Why does Aunt Gladys in Weapons need a piece of your clothing or hair before she can control you? Why do the buried dolls in Longlegs have to look exactly like the children they're connected to? Why does Hereditary keep hiding the same strange symbol in a necklace, a tree, and the walls of a house? Why does the magic in the skeleton key only work on people who believe in it? Why does the magic in the craft goes wrong? And why does the witch in the witch barely have to touch anyone at all? Every one of these has a real answer, and it's older than any of these movies. Stick around, hit like, subscribe, and let's get into it. Let's start with the movie that inspired this entire discussion. Weapons. Aunt Gladys doesn't need pentagrams. She doesn't need elaborate rituals. She barely even needs to touch people. So how does her magic actually work? It runs on 3 steps, and each one does something different. Step 1 is access. She takes something that belongs to you, a ribbon, a label, an object you've used. It doesn't need to be valuable or sentimental. It just needs to have been yours, because that's what creates the link in the first place. Step 2 is targeting, and this is where the magic gets specific. Access alone isn't enough to aim a curse at one exact person. She needs something more intimate. Hair. That's exactly what we repeatedly see her collect throughout the film, and it's not random. Hair is treated as the strongest possible link to a person, stronger than clothing, stronger than belongings. Step 3 is feeding. Once someone is bound, they stop being a target and become a resource, a battery, a life support machine keeping Gladys going. Here's what makes this genuinely disturbing. None of it feels random on screen. It feels like a procedure, a set of rules that existed long before the movie started. That's because the filmmakers didn't invent this system. They're showing you real sympathetic magic, the belief that objects connected to your body carry a piece of you, and whoever holds that object holds a piece of your control. Specifically, this is what's called contagion magic, the idea that anything that once touched your body stays linked to you even after it's taken away. Longlegs, the same magic, one step further. Now take that exact idea and push it one step further. In Longlegs, the killer doesn't need your hair. He doesn't even need to meet you. Instead, he builds a doll made to represent a specific real child, buries it, and waits. Months, sometimes years. This is the same magic as weapons, just working through a different mechanism. Instead of stealing a piece of you, he builds a full replacement for you, a stand-in the curse can act on directly. That's why the doll has to look like the child. The resemblance is the entire mechanism. The more accurate the copy, the stronger the connection to the real person. And the burial explains the delay. A curse object placed near someone's home and left to sit isn't dormant, it's building strength, quietly working while the family eats dinner, watches television, celebrates birthdays, with zero idea anything is underneath them. That's the magic explained. Proximity plus time equals power. This is called similarity magic, or image magic, the belief that a close enough copy of a person can be acted on in place of the real thing. Hereditary, magic across generations. If weapons is one curse aimed at one person, Hereditary is a completely different scale of magic, one built to run for generations, not minutes. And the way to see it is that symbol. It shows up on the necklace, burned into the trees, carved into the attic, painted on the walls. Once you notice it once, you can't stop seeing it everywhere. Here's what that symbol is actually doing in the story. It's not decoration, it's a marker, the same way a recipe or a blueprint leaves instructions behind. Every place it appears is a place the ritual has touched. The family spends the whole movie thinking they're dealing with grief, mental illness, bad luck, normal explanations for abnormal events, but the symbol proves otherwise. Something has been engineered around this family for years, maybe decades, and the horror isn't a possession happening to them in the moment. It's the slow reveal that they were never really in control of their own lives to begin with. That's the magic Hereditary is built on. A ritual so long-running that the people inside it don't even know they're inside it. This falls under ceremonial magic, the kind built from formal rituals and named spirits, passed down and repeated across generations, rather than a single object used once. The skeleton key, when the magic runs on belief. The skeleton key works completely differently, and that's what makes it one of the smartest entries here. Its central rule is simple to say and brutal to live with. The magic only works if you believe in it. At first that sounds like good news. Don't believe, and you're safe. Except the film's entire plot is built around why that logic fails. The protagonist learns hoodoo to protect herself. She studies it, practices it, gets good at it, and starts trusting it. But every step deeper into understanding the magic is also a step deeper into believing it's real, and belief is the exact thing the magic feeds on. So the very knowledge she thinks is her defense is actually opening the door wider. By the time she understands what's happening to her, the belief is already locked in, and it's too late to undo it. That's the magic in this film, explained in one line. It isn't a spell that's cast on you, it's a spell that only works once part of you agrees to it. This is hoodoo, a real folk magic tradition, and specifically what's called belief-based or psychosomatic magic. Magic that works through the target's own fear and conviction, not just the ritual itself. The craft, when the magic is the warning, not the weapon. The craft doesn't use objects at all. No hair, no doll, no symbol. 4 outcast girls, Sarah, Bonnie, Rochelle, and Nancy, form a coven and invoke a deity they call Manon, and once he answers, each girl gets exactly what she asks for. Rochelle, tired of racist bullying from a classmate, wishes for it to stop. Bonnie, covered in burn scars, wishes to be beautiful. Sarah casts a love spell on the boy who humiliated her. And Nancy, living in a trailer with an abusive stepfather, wishes for power. Here's the part that matters. None of these spells work through an object. They work through will. The girls speak their desire into the ritual, and Manon delivers it directly. Rochelle's bully starts losing her hair in clumps. Bonnie's scars vanish overnight. The boy becomes obsessively infatuated with Sarah, and Nancy's stepfather drops dead of a heart attack, leaving her and her mother a fortune. That's the rule this film is built on. Magic here isn't a mechanism you build, like a puppet or a curse object. It's a wish granted exactly as asked, with none of the consequences considered. And that's why it goes wrong. In real Wiccan tradition, there's something called the Rule of 3. Whatever energy you send out is supposed to return to you 3 times over, good or bad. The film never says the words Rule of 3 outright, but it plays the idea out to the letter. Nancy gets addicted to the power, forces the others into a full invocation ritual against a local witch's warning, gets struck by lightning, and starts spiraling into violence, ultimately turning her power on Sarah and the rest of the coven itself. The other girls' relatively fair wishes barely destabilize their lives. Nancy's wish for raw power is the one that costs her sanity and nearly her life. This is ceremonial invocation magic paired with the Wiccan ethical principle of the threefold return. The punishment isn't external, it's built into the spell itself. The Witch. Magic with nothing left to explain. Last one, and it's the strangest, because The Witch removes almost every tool the other 5 films depend on. No ribbon, no hair, no doll, no symbol carved into a wall. So what's actually causing the horror? Fear. Isolation. Belief, again, but without any object attached to it at all. This family already suspects evil is near them. They already fear they've sinned. They already expect to be punished for it. So the witch barely has to push, because the family is already doing the damage to itself from the inside. That's the version of magic this film is explaining. Sometimes the curse isn't an object or a ritual at all. It's convincing someone they're already damned, and then stepping back and letting them prove it to themselves. This is the purest form of belief-based folk magic. No object, no symbol, just fear used as the entire delivery system. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, which version of this ancient magic scares you the most?